Ancient Greece is filled with many aspects that affect our culture still today. From democracy to the arts to sports, ancient Greece has found its way through history to become a part of our everyday lives. Ancient Greece started in 3000 BC on the island of Crete. It ended when Rome invaded in 140 BC. The two most notable and powerful cities of Greece were Athens and Sparta. Athens was the first city to have a democratic republic, which is still a form of government today, and is the standing form of government for the United States. Democracy was introduced by Cleisthenes in the year 507 BC. It was called Democratia, or rule by the people. This system was made of three institutions very similar to the three branches of government in the United States: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The Greek bodies were the ecclesia, which made laws similar to the legislative branch, the bull, which is the council of representatives from the tribes of Greece, much like the Congress's House of Representatives and Senate from the executive branch, and finally the dicasteria, which was the court system where people argued their cases in front of a jury, much like the judicial branch of government. Greece also had many works of art that stand the test of time. The Parthenon, which is a temple built to honor the goddess of wisdom Athena, the patron of the city, where the temple still stands today as an attraction. The Parthenon was built from 447 BC and continued to be built until 438 BC, and is still around for people to see. The architecture of ancient Greece is also popular in buildings made long after the ancient Grecian time period. Many buildings in Washington, D.C. are made in the Greek style, with large columns running from the top of the buildings to the ground, and white colors being prevalent to represent the marble that the Greeks used. The revival of the architecture was popular in America from 1825 to 1860 and can be seen still in many houses and buildings today. Many vases and pots, as well as some sculptures, but very few due to the wear of time, have also survived to this day and allowed us to peek into the past to see what ancient Greece looked like. Much of Greek pottery depicts scenes from their mythology depicting gods and goddesses and well-known stories of the time. Sculptures from this time became more realistic and natural-looking as well. There are also many times the Greek mythology is cited in literature. In many of Shakespeare's plays, mythological characters are referenced, such as in A Midsummer Night's Dream, the characters themselves are mythological references. Sometimes it is to draw comparisons or bring out moods in a story, such as Romeo and Juliet, when Mercutio speaks of Eros, the god of love, explaining Romeo's love for Juliet. Allusions to mythology are made throughout literature, not just in Shakespeare. Hercules is a Greek myth that is still very popular today, that has been told many times in movies as well as books. The Renaissance writers also used many myths in their stories, as was popular in that day. Greece also had some of the earliest literature, with the Iliad and the Odyssey telling the story about the Trojan War, and then the subsequent 10-year journey home for Odysseus, who runs into many mythological creatures along the way. Many people still read the stories, and it can be found in bookstores today. Another aspect of Greek society that is still prevalent today is the sports that they participated in. The Olympic Games, which draws millions of viewers from around the world every 4 years, was originally started in Greece in 776 BC. They were originally dedicated to the gods and held in Olympia, Greece. They were banned by Emperor Theodosius in 393 AD, and then started up again in the modern times in 1896 in Athens, Greece. Even some sports, such as wrestling, survived the time and were held in the ancient games as well as the modern games. Ancient Greece is still prevalent in today's culture, and many of the things that they gave helped us to become the people we are today. Without ancient Greece, we would have never had democracy in the form that it is in today, or great works of art, and even sports would be different. The artifacts left behind offer us a window into the past to see how people lived so long ago, as well as to help us to see what we can do in the future.